Hey family, Eve here. So family, the video that I'm about to create is a video, I'm going to title it The Phoenicians, the True Amalekites, because I'm getting ready to show you guys through this video that the Phoenicians are the Amalekites, which are the Jewish people over there in Israel that's fighting right now. How I told you guys in one of my last videos how they hid themselves throughout history by taking on the name of Jewish. And we know the name Jew comes from Judah, our forefather. But before I get started, family, let me give all praise, honor, and glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So my goal today is to prove to you guys that the Phoenicians, the Amalekite, and the Jewish people over in Israel are all the same people. And I'm going to just give you little key points showing you that that's who they are. And again, like I mentioned before in one of my last videos, where I said the Jews were they were gypsies, the Amalekites, how I showed you guys who they really were. And I also mentioned to you guys that the Most High told me, he specifically told me to bring these people out of hiding because they have caused our people to err in him. They have made our people sacrifice, sign contracts, covenant with them, and they kept them in bondage through contracts and making them serve other gods, making them serve their gods. So he want me to bring them out of hiding so that he can judge them. This is the nation who he wants to judge more than any nation in the world, is the Amalekites. Because you remember I told you the Amalekites are the ones who did an unprovoked attack on Israel when they were coming out of Egypt. And he told Moses to write it as in a memorial and whisper it to Joshua, so that because he said it was going to be that God was going to war with Amalek from generation to generation. So Amalek is the nation, the people who God is truly going to destroy and wipe them off the face of the earth, because he said that. So look that scripture up where he said he was going to destroy the Amalekites and he was going to wipe them off from up under he was going to remove them from under the heavens. The Amalekites are an evil people. Those Jewish people over there are an evil people, and those are the ones that has held our people in bondage through contracts. And I'm talking about the contracts they have our people to sign. There's no way they can get out of the contract. They serve these people till they die. Like I told you, a mortgage is a contract, and these people have owned real estate. They have owned all the housing, real estate, movie broadcasting. They own trade. Those was the ones who traded us. Those are the ones that the Most High said he's gonna deal with from generation to generation. But their time has come to an end, and he is getting ready to put some fire up under their butt. So like I said, this video is gonna be titled The Phoenicians, the Amalekites, the Jewish people, who they really are. So the Phoenicians were an ancient Semitic group, and anytime they say Semitic, you know it's Jewish. They were an ancient Semitic people who lived in the states along the Mediterranean coast. And see, the Phoenicians are the ones that created city and state. See, and is nowhere else you go in the world where you find city and state except for the United States, where we got all of these cities and all of these states, and the Phoenicians is the ones who established city and states because they set them up around the Mediterranean where they live and where they located at. Yeah, so yeah, that one clue already. It says they were skilled sailors and traders who created the first written alphabet. Now, the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, is only used really here in the United States. Everybody else got their own lettering or way that they communicate. So the lettering, it was set up for for us, because let me keep going and I'll get to it. The Phoenicians were an ancient Semitic people who lived along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea, primarily in what is now known as modern Lebanon, and were known for their extensive maritime trade throughout the Mediterranean region, and they originated from the Canaanite people of the Levant, with their major cities including Tyre, Sidon, Babylon, and Arwad. Babylon. Where did we go into captivity at? Babylon? Tyre, Tyre, Tyrus, Tyre, tyrant. They became a tyrant. Their name, Tyre, tyrant was stemmed from that word because they were a tyrant. They were annoying people to the Most High when it came to His children. Yeah, and when it says they descended from an Canaanite people, that's Eliphaz. Eliphaz son. Remember I read to you. He had a son by his concubine. Her name was Timnah, and he named him Amalek. And Eliphaz's his mother was a Canaanite. Her name was Adah. So let me show you. It says, Genesis 36:2 says, Esau took his wives of the daughter of Canaan, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, that's a Canaanite, and Oholibah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite. And then Genesis 35:16 says, Duke Korah, Duke Gatan, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. They were the sons of Adah. See, so Amalek's grandmother name was Adah. She was a Canaanite. So that's why there's another clue. So there it says the origin, descendants of the Canaanites. Location, coastal strip of Levant, mainly modern Lebanon. Is that not where the Jewish people reside right now? Over in Israel? Or the state of Israel, not the people. Yeah. Like I said, they the ones came up with the concept of city and state. Noble skills, expert seafarer traders known for establishing trading posts across the Mediterranean. That water, they was familiar with that water. They was trading. Who was traded? Our people. We was traded into slavery, back and forth on the seacoast. That's what they knew. They were skilled at it. It said they were skilled traders. There you go. City and states. Phoenicians' society was organized into independent cities and states, not a unified empire. Is that not what the United States is? They established that here. They set that up. Name, origin. The term Phoenicians was given to them by the Greek, possibly referring to their purple dye. Now, purple. Now, you know how significant the color purple is to the Most High because it means kingship. Now, who were kings? King David, Jesus was king, and Judah, who Christ descended from. And Judah descended from David. Look at that. These people are, boy, and remember, they stole our name, Jew, from Judah. There you go. Boy, I've been giving them up just that fast, and I ain't even been that far into the video. The Phoenicians were a Semitic people, likely related to other Semitic groups in the region, the Akkadians and the Arabs. Now, the Agagites are known to be the Amalekites. Haman in the book of Esther, Agagite, they really Amalekites. Amalekites. The Phoenicians were descended from the Canaanite population who lived in modern day Israel. Again, his Amalekite's grandmother was a Canaanite. They identified themselves with the name of the city they came from, such as Sidonian and Tyrian. What I'd say, Tyrian, a tyrant. God will, he said, he will war with Amalek from generation to generation, because I told you they were a tyrant. The Phoenicians are considered to be Middle Eastern people today. That's only because they're in the East. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that could be the case. The Phoenicians invented one of the world's first written alphabets, which became the basis of nearly every Western language. Western is the United States. We go by the alphabet. We do everything literally. We do everything with the alphabet. So that's literature. They establish literature. Literature is writing, books, law books, schools, the legal system. They did all of that. They set up all of that. And remember, I told you they was over real estate. They was over the courts, the judges, the law, the broadcasting, TV, radio. They over everything. They over everything. The Phoenicians were a major influence on classical world, art, literature, writing, books. There you go. Other Phoenician facts. The Phoenicians' art was influenced by many different cultural elements, including Aegean, Cypriot, Assyrian, and Egyptian. So all of that writing, the Phoenicians came up with it. They said the Phoenicians were conquered by a series of invaders, including the Greeks, who imposed their own culture on their region. You remember the Greeks, Hitler. When didn't they say the Jews? Hitler's when he killed the Jews. What is Hitler not a Greek? Was he not the seed of Japheth? What Esau? Because you remember Esau took over Japheth's land, making Japheth's people become, because Japheth was the first Greeks, so Hitler was a Greek. So the Jews, when Hitler took over their region and he killed all those people, that's what they were saying. They tried to say that was a genocide, or they tried to say that it was a massacre. That's why they was trying to say that they were the ones that suffered a Holocaust. But a Holocaust is the annihilation trying to annihilate a nation of people. The Jews were never annihilated. They never experienced what we experienced. We were the true Holocaust victims, because we still suffer that to today. Only reason it's not as bad is because the Most High is back judging and he's dealing with them. But the true victims of Holocaust were the so-called black people, so-called African American, the children of Israel. So there are no people today identifying as the Phoenicians. See, like I said, they hid themselves in history. Throughout history, they done hid themselves by pretending to be us. The ancient region of Phoenicia is now part of modern-day Lebanon, Syria, and Israel. There you go. The Phoenicians were skilled sailors, merchants, and were known for their cedar wood, purple dye, and metalworking. You hear it. The Phoenician city and states were located along the northern Levant coast in Tyre, Sidon, and Babylon and Arwad. Now I said Babylon is Babylon. We went into captivity in Babylon. They traded us. That's why I said the Phoenicians are really the Amalekites. The Phoenicians were organized into city and states. Again, the United States is the only place that has cities and states. The Phoenicians were especially known for their trade and writing. They mined tin in what is now England and mixed it with copper to make bronze. The Phoenicians gave writing to the Mediterranean. Writing. They the one brought writing over here. They the ones who they call Septuagint. They changed the Hebrew writing of the Bible into Greek writing. They the ones came up with writing. So they the ones translated the Hebrew Bible into Greek, what we read nowadays. The Phoenicians gave writing to like I said, the Mediterranean. In the Bible, they were famed as seafaring merchants. Their dye used to color priestly vestments. Who was the priesthood? Who had the priesthood? Who was the first priesthood God established it with? The Levites, Aaron, Moses, and Aaron's sons. Their priestly vests. That the first vest was created in the 12 tribes. The stones was put on the 12 tribes. And remember, I told you Judah was the fourth stone, which was emerald. That's how I was able to tell you who those, in one of my other videos, I was able to tell you that the Jewish people, through the movie The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Esmeralda, her name is symbolic for emerald. That's how I was able to define them as being considered the Jew. Yeah, that's how I broke that whole thing down and figured out who they really were. Exodus 24:4-8 says, adornment, curtains, yarns, and fabric used in the temple of Jerusalem. See, they the ones that worship in temples and synagogues. The skin color of the Phoenicians, they were Semitic culture from the Levant, as Canaanites, Hebrews, Syrians, and belonged to Caucasian race. Blacks back then were mostly Sub-Saharan African, Sub-Saharan Africa, or Ethiopian Lebanese people are the descendants of the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians descendants are modern Semites of the Levant, which includes Jewish, Syrian, Lebanese, and Palestine. Those are the Jews-ish people over there in Israel. I just gave you a description of Amalek. The Phoenicians, they are all the same. Phoenicians, Amalek, and the Jewish are all one people. So in the book of Exodus, it's what it says. Exodus 4 through 8. The scriptures are telling the children of Israel how to design the ephod of the breasthood vest for Aaron, his sons, the priesthood. They were administrators of the law. And like I told you in the book of Revelations 2 and 9 and 3 and 9, where it says they posed as us. Let me read it to you. Revelations 2 and 9 says, I know thy works and tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. And I told you, synagogue lets you know that the Jewish, though God is talking about the Jewish people over in Israel, because they the only ones worship in synagogues. And 3 and 9 says, Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So that's what I'm telling you guys. These people, God told me to bring them out, expose them, show who they are, tell their names, so that he can judge them. And them right there, that group right there, them Jewish people over there, the Amalekites, that's who he, boy, that's who he want to judge. That's who he getting ready to judge, boy. And I'm telling you, all the stuff that they did, the Jewish people, they did alone is what is enough. He about to, he getting ready to, yeah, he did say that to me. He told me, he said, expose them. He said, bring them out. He said, they have offended my people. Now, I got to judge them. So, see, like I told you, I said the way he judged, see, he got to expose you for your evil that you did. And once your evil has been exposed, then he can judge you. Because if nobody knows the evil that you did and he judge you, then people may not consider that. They might not consider that as being just. So he's always just, he's always true, and he's always fair. So he said, expose him. I've exposed him. Now he's finna judge him. Same thing with Denzel Washington. Nobody knew that Denzel Washington caused that boy's death. But now I exposed it, and it's out there. Once you speak it, it's out there. So now, everybody know that he sacrificed that boy's life. Denzel sacrificed Chadwick Boseman's life. And guess what? He finna pay for it. He getting ready to pay for it. So family, like I said, the Most High told me to expose these people for judgment. And we are in the judgment. We in the last days. The final end times. The last days of this world. Satan's world. And Amalek belongs to Satan. Those are his children. So family, with that being said, I thank you guys for visiting my video, and I'll see you on the next one.